and I have about 15 minutes before I need to leave here and head off to a thing at the kids' school. And I thought I would pop on because tomorrow is the launch of the Mini Quilt Advent for 2025. I have to apologize because I did send out an email saying that it was September 3rd when it's September 5th. I think it was September 3rd last year, and that's what got me mixed up. It's always the first Friday in September, which in this case is September 5th. But I definitely somewhere did say September 3rd, and that's my fault. So if you've been looking for the Mini Quilt Advents and you haven't seen them up yet, and you're watching this before tomorrow morning, I'm sorry, but they will be up tomorrow morning. And we'll have a launch video that goes up tomorrow morning. I'll have that scheduled tonight as a premiere, bright and early tomorrow morning. Should go up 6 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific. So East Coast folks will get it bright and early. West Coast folks will get it super early because it'll be, hold on, it's 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. Look at that. See, I can't be trusted with numbers. I'm just a pattern designer. Don't trust me with numbers. No. Hi, friends. Okay, so apologies for any miscommunication. Advent calendar goes live tomorrow morning, and there are a limited number. They don't expect them to sell out in pre-order. They could sell out this year, but I don't expect them to sell out in pre-order. That would be amazing, though. And the number that we're making is the number that we're making. We've never made more, and I don't anticipate that this year either. It's a ton of work, and to do all that work twice is a lot. Hi from Massachusetts. Hi from Costa Rica. Hello from Texas and North Carolina. Hi, friends. Good to have you here. Okay, so I thought it'd be fun to come live for just a little bit and talk about advent calendars from years past, because I know, well, I've told y'all this is the 5th year that we're doing the Mini Quilt Advent. It launches tomorrow. This is year 5, but I know that not the very beginning. And yes, you can go back and find the videos from the very beginning. I look younger and not now. It's definitely, 5 years younger me doing the videos that I was digging through. I didn't find everything, but I found quite a bit. I think some of it's still at the house. I need to collect it together because there's some fun memorabilia here. And I'm going to show you something fun about this Advent that I haven't shown yet. We'll do that at the end. So I'm not tomorrow's launch is tomorrow's launch, but I'm going to share something fun because it's come in already. Okay, so taking us back to the first year. The first year was 2021, which makes sense because that was 1 and this is 5 and we've done it every single year. So taking us back to 2021, and so it was a collaboration with my friend Katie from Katrinkles, and she still does advents for knitters and crocheters, and hers, I don't know if she still does hers in these little felt boxes, but she had these little felt boxes, and then she did a carved or laser etched button with I know it's in reverse, sorry y'all, with 2021. Hold on. All right, I think we fixed that. Hi, Adeline. I'm glad you follow on Instagram. That's fun. Okay, so this was 2021, and the envelopes were really tiny back then. So these are the blocks. This is block 6, or day 6. And this was the template. I don't know how you can see it. It was this light blue. And it had my blog on there, alwaysexpectmore.com, and then the K from Katrinkles. It had both our logos because it was a co-branded thing that we did together. And then she had the stickers printed because she used them for all of her other advents as well that said Katrinkles on them. And I found stitched up pieces from back then, so I was going to show you. So I did she sent me the prototypes and I tested them, and I don't think I've ever shown these tests anywhere before, so I'll show you the tests. These are all the test blocks that I did. I pretty sure. You know what? These, I think, maybe I did these live. I don't remember now. But I have all these, and they're just fused onto fusible fleece. So these would make like great coasters. I have to go back and look at the videos because I have these, and I'm pretty sure that these are the test blocks I did, and I'm pretty sure that this is what I did on video, because back then I didn't do the quilt start to finish. I just did the quilt top. I didn't show how to quilt it, or bind it. I just did a finishing video, and oh, I think that's upside down because that tree should be right side up. So this was, I think this was the finished video, if I remember right. It could have been that this was the finishing video and these were the blocks, and then the blocks never made it into the finished quilt. I'd have to go back. But the theme that year, the design that year was 3-inch finished quilt blocks. They were little. These were all 3-inch finished quilt blocks. And clearly I've been fussy cutting since the beginning. Love me a good fussy cut. Oh, I love these designs. Oh, fun. Okay, so this was year 1. Year 2, I can't find the quilt. I actually went back to look at the videos to see what the quilt looked like. It was the I think Christmas in the City line, because it was, yeah, it was 2 years ago from last year. So it was the Christmas in the City line, which coordinates with the Christmas in the Cabin line that we used last year. But I couldn't find the quilt. I did find the bag. So the bag it came in was pink, and like these were the pattern cards. So they were on a white background. The pattern cards, oh, did I show you the pattern cards for Katrinkles? By the way, when the Katrinkles one came, like I still have one that's fully wrapped, hasn't been opened, that I don't know, I'm saving for posterity. Let me see if I can find the little pattern cards from the Katrinkles ones. Yeah, this one has a pattern card. Looks like this one wasn't opened. So the year 1 pattern cards were this small. They were business card sized. And they were double-sided. And then the year 2 patterns were postcard size. You can see this an older version of my logo there, and single-sided. And this is what those ones look like. And then the templates were dark pink, and they weren't etched, they were printed on. So these are 6-inch. Year 2 was 6-inch finished blocks. So year 1 was 3-inch finished blocks. Year 2 was 6-inch finished blocks. Then year 3, actually, yeah, I don't have the year 2 quilt. But year 3, I didn't grab the year 3 bag, but I did grab the year 3 quilts. Year 3 was diamonds. So here's the 12-day version of the diamonds. And those were in, I want to say a mint green, if I remember right. No, I can't remember. If y'all remember. Oh, I'm so distracted by all the fun stuff. Gina says, I sent you pictures of my quilt from Christmas line 2 years ago, but I made it full size with all the borders and stashing added to it. Because, you know, I like it big. Love that. So yeah, this was the 12-day version, and you can see that, I mean, you can see in the back, I started to quilt it, and I never finished quilting it. So this one didn't, because this was also a year where I did the how to put it together video, but I didn't do a quilting video. And then I did the 24-day, and I also did a how to put together the 24-day, but I didn't do a quilting video or binding video at all on the 24-day either, so that's why, let's see if I can, how much of this I can show. That's why it's just the, which is part of why I added the finishing videos of quilting it and binding it, which is something that I did last year. So yeah, year 3 was the first year that we added the bonus days, because folks asked about that really in year 2. They wanted to have more. They wanted to have it more than 12 days. So I listened to y'all. When you say we want more days, So year 3 was when we added more days and did the 24-day Advent, which is like, it's double the work, but I love it and y'all love it, and that's what's important. But I wasn't doing finishing and binding videos. And last year I started doing the finishing and binding videos, like the put it together, the quilting and the binding. And you can see that because of all of these quilts, last year's quilt, so, oh, sorry. So the third year was 6-inch finished diamonds. So it was 3-inch finished squares, 6-inch finished squares, 6-inch finished diamonds. And then last year we did rectangles. They're 3x4-inch. Was it 3x4? 3x5, 4x5. So it's 4x5. Anyway, they were 4x6. All right, there were 4x6-inch rectangles. I think I've got it upside down. Yep, my card's upside down. And this one is actually fully quilted and bound, but it doesn't have a label. Spoiler, this year we're gonna talk about adding a label when we finish our quilts. So this year, like, I get a little better at it every year. Not that the first year wasn't amazing, because it really was, but I try to do a little more and add a little more, and there's definitely more this year. Spoiler, but no spoiler because I'm not actually telling you. So this was last year's, and I think we have about a dozen, maybe 2 dozen of these Advent kits still available if someone wanted to do last year's. The fabric kits are not, the fabric's sold out. Fabric sold out 3 times. The fabric's sold out. We bought a lot of fabric this year, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, so this was the 12-day version. And then the 24-day version, which has a finishing video and a quilting video, but no binding video, which is why this one isn't bound. Doing the videos about these keeps me honest, clearly. So this is the 24-day version from last year with the 4x6 rectangles. And so this was year 4. And tomorrow we get to launch year 5. And there's some things that y'all already know. Like, these are the fabrics that we're using. It's always Art Gallery fabrics, whatever their holiday line is. This year it's Caterina Rochella's line again. And I just pick 8 fabrics that I think are going to have good contrast. And I offer them as fat quarter bundles if you just want to do the 12-day. And half yard bundles if you want to do the 24-day. So have these as options. Thanks, Renee. Renee says, I love your quilts. Hi, Diana from Southern Oregon. All right, so we've got 12 and 24 days. One of the things that I added this year, well, one of the things that I added last year, which, I mean, also probably the reason I did the binding video, is because I added a binding fabric if you wanted to buy that coordinating binding fabric. And part of that is because Art Gallery Fabrics launched their 2.5 edition fabric, which is like these cute cars on the edge. And so, of course, I had to talk about doing that in a video. There isn't a 2.5 edition to go with this year's line. They had this spun diagonal stripe. So this is our binding fabric this year. So that was added last year. And on request from last year, added into this year. So after last year, folks were saying, do you have a backing fabric? So I added a backing fabric if you want to order backing fabric to go with your kits. So we did backing fabric. Half yard, quarter yard, binding, and then also this year backing fabric. So those are what we added. Now, I didn't talk about how all these were wrapped. Well, I showed you. So year 1 was wrapped like this. Year 2, oh, hold on. And then all the other, this is how they come, with a different color logo on the front each year. Year 2 was pink. Year 3 was the green color. Year 4 last year was gold. And then always inside there are envelopes, and sometimes multiple sizes of envelopes depending on what needs to fit. So there's envelopes with stickers, and they're like my logo envelopes that have stickers on them for each of the days. This was last year, year 4. This is where we're at with the patterns now. So this is the pattern looks like on the front. And then on the back, it has a QR code that you can scan to get right to the video, because that was a question that I was getting from folks of, hey, where, like, how do I find the videos? And it's like, well, they're just up on the YouTube channel. But if 6 months later, a year later, you want to go find those videos, man, they're buried on the YouTube channel. Like you could find, they're in playlists, but that's not always easy to find. So there's QR codes on the patterns, and there will be again this year. And there's also like a written out link. So if you're doing it on a computer and you can't scan the QR code, there's a written out link as well. So you can type in the link to make it easier. So these are the envelopes. The bonus days are in their own second little pouch that also has the coordinating logo, so you know it goes with it. And only 3 of the bonus days have acrylic templates. The rest are just a pattern. So they get to be in a little bit smaller envelopes. And then there's also a welcome. And then on the back, it has QR codes to the whole, like all the videos in the series, the finishing video, the quilting and trimming video, the binding video, how to do a pieced backing, which is a bonus video that I did last year. And then if you want it to stay secret, you don't open this up, and the letter here on the front explains that. But if you want to see how it's going to finish, this was the finishing last year, the 12-day version, or hold on. Yeah, the 12-day version or the 24-day version finishing. So all of that is in here as well, so that you have like all the finishing instructions. Is the backing fabric and binding sold separately or all in one? Everything's like a la carte. It's separate because everyone has a different quilty budget. And so people who like they've saved and they want to be able to do the 12-day Advent, and that's what they want to do, and that's what they have the budget for, they get to just do the 12-day Advent. Folks who they can just buy that and they get to participate and be part of it, and it's always less than $100. In fact, this year I'm not raising the price from last year. It's staying the same price because Advents have gotten so expensive and I want people to be able to participate. So there's 12 days, and then you can add on days 13 through 24. So that's an add-on. You can then add on the fabric. So if you're doing 12 days, you just need a fat quarter. If you're doing 24, then you want the half yard bundles. And by a fat quarter, I mean a fat quarter bundle, or the half yard bundle for if you're doing all 24 days. And then you can add on the binding if you want the binding. You can add on the backing if you want the backing. And there's another add-on that I'm not talking about yet. Will be talked about tomorrow. So depending on how, you kind of get to dictate what you want based on like, oh, I already have Christmas fabric, or I have Christmas fabric that I love that I want to use, or I love this fabric, I want to make sure that I get this fabric. It's a choose your own adventure how you want to put it together, so you get the absolute most out of what you want to spend. That's a good question. The prices this year, it's essentially the same as last year. I have to double check it on the spreadsheet, but I know that it, I'm trying to remember if the bonus days might have gone up a little bit. I did all the math. It's on a spreadsheet, and it'll be up in the morning. I have to double check it, but I don't know it off the top of my head. But it didn't, like, if it went up total, it's like $10. I think the fabric might have stayed the same. We did good. We did good this year. Gina wants to know about the block of the month calendars. I'm almost done writing the block of the month for next year. We decided in one of these lives it's going to be a star block of the month, and it is so good. I've designed it. I've done all the images for it. I'm halfway through writing all the step outs. I think a little more than halfway through writing all the step outs. Maybe I can finish that this weekend and get it out to pattern testers next week. That always goes live around Black Friday. So that's when the block of the month calendar goes out, is always around Black Friday. That's a good question. And because I know someone's going to ask, the, what's it? Quilt trading cards. Series 2 quilt trading cards are at the printer getting printed now. It can take like up to a month. So we'll see when they actually come in, but they're at the printer. Okay, so how they were wrapped. I showed you how the Katrinkles was wrapped in the red tissue. And then when I took over, I started wrapping it in this pink sparkly tissue. And then last year I wanted to, and the pink sparkly tissue. And then I got this foil printed ribbon. It says Carolina Moore Patterns and has my logo on there. So I did custom foiled ribbon. And then last year I kept the same ribbon, but instead of pink sparkly, we went to pink polka dot. And this year I've changed it up completely. And I haven't pulled it out of the packaging yet, but I bought the tissue already. It's going to be silver stripes. Super elegant. And this is the ribbon. It's a light pink ribbon with the same Carolina Moore patterns, but in silver foil this time. So it's going to be, this is what it's going to be wrapped in when it comes to you. Yay. I'm super excited about that. So that's how we're packaging them this year. Renee says, if you ever need a new tester, I gladly volunteer. So I have a spreadsheet, like a Google Doc that folks who want to pattern test for me fill out. And it asks for like some pictures of work that you've done and, you know, contact information, and like asks a couple questions to make sure that you're compatible. Like, we need to be able to pay you through PayPal. If you don't have a PayPal, then I can't pay you because I pay my testers. And you need to be able to have that functionality, because I'm not writing out checks every time to all my pattern testers and mailing them. That's a lot of work. So there is a spreadsheet. If you email me, carolina@carolinamore.com, send me an email and I will get you the link to be a pattern tester. I will tell you that I don't pick the pattern testers. I have a virtual assistant. She's amazing. Angela, she'll be the one who will reach out to you and talk to you about pattern testing stuff. So yes, Angela's the one who actually picks who the test, like I send her the pattern and she picks the testers, coordinates with them, tells me where to ship stuff, tells me who to pay when it's done, sends me all the collated feedback. She runs all that for me and makes me a much closer to sane person because she does that. So yeah. All right, friends, I said 15 minutes. It's been 21 minutes. I have to drive to this meeting, so I have to go. But I wanted to get y'all excited about tomorrow morning and do a little memory lane, since I was pulling out Christmas stuff and I came across all this and I thought, yeah, I don't know how many of y'all have been here like for 5 years since the very beginning and seen all this. So maybe you wanted to see kind of like the evolution. And if you have any guesses, I'm going to stop the video in a second. So you might have to go to like the replay of the video, but leave your guesses as to what shape you think that 2025 is going to be. What shape? I think I've already said what shape. So maybe you know, but shape and size. What do you think? What do you think we're doing? It's a good one. And I don't think anyone's going to guess it. I really don't think y'all are going to guess it. I think 1,000 people could guess and no one's going to guess it. But once you see the launch tomorrow, it will make sense and you'll say, that's really good. Like, I want that in my sewing room. I think you're going to be really, really excited about it. All right. Oh, Gina says that she missed the first year, but she has all the block of the months. Yep, the block of the months we don't tend to sell out on. I keep those in stock because people like to go back and do them. So we have the block of the months if you miss past block of the months. Amy said she'll have to watch the replay tomorrow. Yes, you will, Amy. But also the launch is tomorrow, so you'll see the launch tomorrow. Audrey says, I was going to guess circle, but I didn't get here till just now, so I don't know. That would be cool. I think it would freak people out if I did circles. I think curves in general would freak people out. Don't know. Donna says no idea. Amy says rectangles. We did rectangles last year. We could do rectangles again. Like, I mean, I did squares 2 years in a row before I did diamonds, and then I did rectangles. Hexagon, says Christy. Hexagon's a good guess. Time 1 tomorrow. So the launch is 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. And it will be a premiere, so it all goes live at once. Renee says 5-inch hexagon. All right, Renee's got a guess. All right, Chris, 9 a.m. Pacific, or sorry, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. I keep getting my coasts mixed up. All right, I really have to go. It's 25 minutes. I'm 10 minutes late already. Okay. Mwah. Bye, friends. Leave your guesses. Can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's one of my favorite. It's going to be a great day. I'm so excited. All right. 8 a.m. Central, says Gina. Gina's doing time zone math for us. Thank you for doing the hard work. These are important things. All right. Bye, friends. Bye. Bye. Ooh, someone said star. That's an interesting guess. Guess you'll have to see tomorrow.